In 1997, the town of Old Oakburn woke up to complete silence. 1,043 people vanished overnight. No bodies, no struggle. Rumors would soon spread around town hinting that police officials dropped the case, simply calling it a lost cause. That's what they all believed until an individual began recovering fragments of evidence pointing towards something much bigger and much darker. And it's been leaked right into our hands.
Curse, is everything secure?
It's here. I'm ready, but we need to establish some ground rules.
The rules are simple. Whatever we see or hear in this, we can't let it condition us. From what I've researched, when you listen, you bargain. And it doesn't even take the whole tape.
Okay, so we isolate the audio and video as much as possible. But we can't do it here.
We've secured a location for us to do this. Check your phone and meet me at the coordinates.
Alright, I'll make the drive. Hey, what the hell is all this?
Don't be alarmed. I put this together over the last few weeks in preparation for the investigation.
Marcus, there's a lot here. How deep does this actually go?
A lot deeper than we currently think. And the only way to find out is to watch the first tape.
Alright, let's see what this is all about then, but we need to start fresh. Okay, let's watch the first tape. We start off at Lake Oakburn. A cold morning in 1997. It's quiet, because by then, everyone in town has already vanished. Come 2024, classified information about that day was leaked by multiple anonymous sources. Who and what these sources are remain elusive. But we're told new light is being shed on the case, opening up countless theories and discussions. So, what do you think, Marcus?
What the hell is that rock behind the text?
Notice that too. Looks like a monolith. Some kind of marking etched into the surface. Could be cult-related, but we'll need more before we call that. What's interesting is everything from here on is built from a manuscript belonging to an anonymous inhabitant, paired with a restored cassette tape depicting the phenomena. Who found this inhabitant and who restored the tape? Our first piece of evidence. Let's log this for now. The more we gather, the clearer this should get. More recovered evidence has surfaced involving this figure known to locals as Oakburn's Flutist. A mysterious, horn-looking creature said to play a hauntingly beautiful flute for all to hear. Let's listen to what the locals have to say about his arrival. On a cold morning, the outsider stumbled upon our gates and quickly became a welcome guest through the sweet and captivating melody of his flute. My people brought him into our village, a secluded place west of the Atosivic Mountains. We provided the flutist food, water, and shelter, and in return the man continued to enchant our people with the tunes of the winds. Interesting. It continued to enchant the town with its music. It almost sounds compulsive, like it's not even music at that point. Music doesn't make an entire village hand over its trust to a stranger in just one morning. Something is being said here, not played. We're then shown the manuscript describing the phenomenon. The children adorned him, soothed by the melodic blows. Men and women respected him for the great entertainment and happiness provided by the blessed flute. To the more humble folk, the flutist was a grateful form of art. We see the symbol etched upon the rock, a circle with 9 upside-down triangles. After, we're shown the flutist once more. But just what the hell is this? He hid them under the veil of reality. Impossible to breathe beyond existence. Keep looking. Do not follow the melody. Marcus? What the hell did we get ourselves into?
Something that's been going on a lot longer than 1997.
That symbol, though. 9 upside-down triangles. That's not random, and whoever made that put thought into it. You don't stumble into something like that by accident.
And it shows up right after we're told he hid them under the veil of reality. I don't think that's a metaphor. That's literally what happened to those people.
But what exactly was it? And also, impossible to breathe beyond existence. That could only mean one thing. Wherever they are, it's not air they're surrounded by. He adapted to our customs, ate and drank from our kitchen, hummed our chants and honored our altars, without ever voicing a single thought. The flutist used the wind as his words and melodies as his speech. Now things are getting interesting. Within the wind, it hid fangs. Within the wind, it breached our spirits. Within the wind, the flute burned. The veil. Same one he hid them under. The music didn't just enchant them. It's what took them. More evidence recovered by Martha Esther in 2002. She must have been the one who leaked all of this. This is the restored cassette tape depicting what happened that night in 1997. 1997. The great flutist of Old Oakburn announces the completion of his magnum opus. A presentation is set to happen Friday night at Lake Oakburn. Hundreds of men, women, and children gather near the lake in anticipation. It cuts and we're looking at that same rock and sigil, but this time the symbol has awakened. We're told to identify, interpret, and follow the music. pay attention to where the music is coming from. We identify. We interpret. And we follow. The music. The same way as the 1,043 missing people of Oakburn. And you and I have been put under the same spell. But it wasn't just any spell. The people of Old Oakburn, men, women, and children that night had opened themselves up to a demon. The morning after, Old Oakburn woke up to complete silence. 1,043 inhabitants disappeared overnight. After quick and inconclusive investigations, little evidence was found. The existence and whereabouts of the Flutist remained an unanswered enigma. That was until 2003. The search for Old Oakburn's population continues. Alright, from the looks of it, we're dealing with some kind of demon. It entered the town of Atosavik, fully integrating into their village life and gained the locals' trust entirely through playing its flute. Soon after, it announced a grand performance at Lake Oakburn on a Friday night, where the entire town's population gathered. From there, the flutist revealed what it actually was before making all 1,043 inhabitants disappear. What exactly happened to them and what the flutist even really is remains unknown at this point. But I'm under the assumption they were taken somewhere, and here's why. We're told it hid them under the veil of reality, where it was impossible to breathe. And knowing they all gathered at the lake that night, I have a feeling there just might be something underwater.
I bet there is too. It used art, trust, and community as weapons while it was hiding in plain sight the entire time. Did you see the marking on the rock? It was glowing during the event.
Yeah, I saw that too. It looks to be a sigil which are said to hold spiritual power, widely used in modern occultism and witchcraft to represent an individual's specific intention or desired outcome. Once it's created, like the one on that rock, it needs to be charged, and since we saw it glow red during the magnum opus, it's safe to say something was activated. It honestly looked like the sigil was being burned, which is also a sign of destruction. But what exactly do the symbols mean, and what's their origin?
Martha was the one who recovered the tape and manuscript in 2002. There must be more evidence she found that could give us an answer. The second tape is ready to be viewed.
Right. Let's see if we can find out who she is and what exactly happened between 2003 and 2024. It's now 2003 and we're 25 miles from Lake Oakburn at the Lebedev residence. It's quiet. Shots have been fired.
I stood upon their blood. I stood upon the weapon. I stood before the flute, and the drowned city arose beneath my feet.
We're shown multiple police photographs from December 10, 2003, 6 years after the Flutist magnum opus event. From here, we get an inside look on the investigation after the incident, and the suspect has left a message.
The melody calls out. The voice under the veil commands. And the vessel answers.
Accompanied by another from the Flutist.
What stands before you, Detective Esther, is not a person. I exist incarcerated in a vessel of the arcane. I will entertain your feeble sense of justice. I will show you my tale.
He knows well his wicked ways. Okay, we're dealing with something a lot darker than I suspected. The text displayed after the gunshots give us some answers as to what happened. I stood upon their blood. I stood upon the weapon. I stood before the flute, and the drowned city arose beneath my feet.
We haven't heard of the drowned city yet. Could that be the place he took the missing people of Etosovic?
It seems possible, and from this message there seems to be more to this. What that is exactly is unknown at the moment, but besides that, more importantly, what else did police find during the investigation? What was done about the individual, and how deep is Martha involved in all of this? We're back with IPD on the night of the incident. A call was made from the household. Interesting. The individual has confessed. But why? We get more police evidence regarding what happened that night. Jackson and Oliver Lebedev were dead, their bodies aligned in the dark room. The Lebedev brothers, naturalist photographers of Etosovic, searched to capture the empty landscape of the mountains. The criminal was never identified. For the convenience of this investigation, the killer will be addressed by the pseudonym John Doe. There's even more evidence. A timeline, based on the interrogatory of John Doe, conducted and recorded by Detective Martha Esther in 2003. December 5th, 2003. John Doe was led by the melody of a wind instrument emanating from Lake Oakburn. It began with conditioning, with a melody, to which led him straight to the flutist.
From the very first moment the flute touched my mind, I was sure to have been struck by something otherworldly, roaming the depths of the lake.
Near the lake, John Doe encounters a monolith. On the surface of the smooth rock, a symbol was carved, a circle and 9 triangles. The same exact one we've been seeing.
I witnessed, in clear and inscrutable reason, the flute and the man. They taught me wisdom from the bottom of the lake, the drowned city, and the millions who rest there. He raised me in that instant as a vessel. The emblem etched upon the rock, the beautifully profane assortment of a circle and 9 triangles, suddenly gleamed in crimson hue. The saw and wove a web, his desire in an instant made clear. In the flute, I discerned the will of expansion, which I was to provide.
It seems after this encounter, John wandered the mountain for 5 days, allegedly in a deranged state of mind. Come December 10th, the events transpire and we learn that John Doe has become a vessel, or in other words, its puppet, to do its bidding. It conditions and prepares you to execute that bidding.
It is common for many inhabitants of remote areas and hidden places to forget their front doors unlocked. A naive custom, often conditioned by the emptiness surrounding it.
Once the deed was complete, the flutist revealed itself to John.
Through the window, I beheld his light and shape. The spectre whispered, in evoking horror, his unfathomable name. Marvipius.
Marvipius. That name must mean something. Hiding in plain sight and using the flute as a means of destruction. But what caused any of this to begin with?
And from the profane blade touched by Marvipius's fangs, I cut their eyes open in the dark room.
This is what they did to them. John Doe furtively strikes the Lebedev brothers. Jackson takes a pickaxe hit to the thigh, snapping the femur and is left debilitated. Oliver drags Jackson to the dark room at gunpoint upon performing a suboptimal tourniquet. Marvipius is in full control at this point. John is nothing but its puppet. Oliver was the first. After, a sigil is drawn, and then it's Jackson's turn. The symbol that was drawn must seal the bidding that John Doe just did. Who is he, and was there some kind of deal being made here? This sigil seems similar to the one we've been seeing, but it's now inverted. It's got to be connected to the other one in some way. To Martha. Because Marvipius has a message.
Oh, Martha. The sole reason I stand before you, narrating my tale, contributing to your futile pursuit of a comprehensible truth, is to convey you his message. He calls you to the lake, your good friend beneath the veil. Visit the drowned city. Your failure to heed his warning will bring the same fate upon you and the few living folks you love. You will drown too.
Interesting. Has Martha made contact with Marvipius in the past? I think Martha plays a much bigger role in this than we've been led to believe. We get one more look at the crime scene as IPD wraps up, and standing in the corner watching is one of the most horrifying visuals in this genre that I have ever seen. Oh yeah. One thing about Red's work is that every sound effect, song, and visual has its place. This song, The Boy with the Gun, perfectly describes Marvipius and the acts that have just been committed. This is one of the many in the series that we will come across. But for now, let's hear what IPD found. In defiance of John's alleged method of murder, the bodies of Jackson and Oliver were found in contradictory conditions. Agents at the scene first observed vascular marbling, skin discoloration, and bloating in both bodies. An autopsy analysis revealed pulmonary injury, insinuating that drowning was the cause of death. They drowned in a house 25 miles away from Lake Oakburn, but the autopsy review says otherwise. Is the IPD hiding something, or does Martha know much more than we anticipate? In the drowned city, this is where Marvipius must reside and where all those missing people went.
It's not where the missing people went. It's where John Doe must have gone during those 5 days. His deranged state of mind was Marvipius pulling him under the lake, showing him the city, raising him as a vessel, and then sending him back up to do the work.
And the sigil on that rock, could it then be an access point? It glowed red during the magnum opus in 1997. It glowed red when she encountered it in 2003. That's not a coincidence. That's the same outcome both times. But then what activates it exactly?
Wait, if the magnum opus happened in 1997, does that mean the drowned city has been filling up this entire time?
1 million people, if not more, according to John Doe. And Martha. She's been called to the lake personally. Marvipius knows her by name. That threat wasn't random, and I assume she's been close to this before.
Must be close enough that he considers her a problem worth addressing directly.
The name Marvipius, it's extremely similar to Marsyas. He was from Greek mythology who played the aulos. This was a double-sided flute that belonged to the goddess Athena, who discarded the instrument and placed a curse on it. She did this so that whoever came into contact with the flute would meet a horrific end. Marsyas, immortal, comes into contact with the flute and challenges the god Apollo to a musical duel. The fateful day arrives, and once Marsyas played, everyone began to dance in a frenzy as if going completely mad. On the other hand, when Apollo played his lyre, it was so divine that it brought everyone to tears. Needless to say, Apollo won, and because of the rules of ancient Greek at the time, imagine an infinite number of things that could be done. The winner got to do anything they wanted to the loser. And Apollo did just that. Marsyas was flayed alive because of his audacity of a mortal, thinking that he could surpass a god like Apollo.
The flute granted Marsyas godlike musical talent, but that was the trap meant to inflate his ego until he destroyed himself.
So, Marvipius didn't just take the name by coincidence then. I mean, we have the flute as a weapon, the music that conditions, and the idea that once he's acquired a vessel, he can commit the execution. Why is he doing this though, and what does Martha have to do with it? There's gotta be some more, but I'm starting to get a little uneasy about the entire investigation.
We're in too deep now just to stop though. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Let's just see what the next tape contains.
Okay, let's keep watching then. I just want to point out how insane Red's sound design and work is. The title cards he creates for this series are insane. Let's enjoy them. We begin underwater, and I don't know if it's just me, but I have a feeling we just might be seeing the Drowned City after all. The place Martha has been called to. We're in the back of Martha's car. The song playing suggests that she's being watched. She gives us some backstory on the town and what she plans to do.
The land remained still, accursed by a tragic silence for over 5 years.
This tragic silence must have been in regard to the magnum opus event.
Old Oakburn, a village hidden between barren mountains and white woods. In its heart, the depths of the lake. A single road connects the village to its neighbor town, Itosavik. After 5 years of neglect and decrepitude, it has become treacherous, overgrown with weeds and twigs, the path barely visible amidst the snow. I'm here now. I'm home. Today into those dark depths I must venture, and behold my secret, the very root of my curse. These waters go much deeper.
Wait a minute. Her secret and the root of her curse.
The flutist called her specifically for a reason. I think we're soon to figure out what that reason is.
It's 2002 and the investigation begins. Martha Esther returns to Etosovic. From here, we're shown Martha's recovered audio journal.
For now, all the evidence collected from the 1997 phenomenon is abstract, frantic, ambiguous, and reveals the arcane nature of the case.
The arcane nature of the case?
She's not calling it a disappearance anymore. She's calling it arcane. That's not something a detective would say. That's occult language. She knew what this was before she even opened the file.
Manuscript findings, diaries, newspaper entries, and the cassette tape depicting the magnum opus. In some of these samples, one notices a strange constant.
A constant across all of it? The sigil?
Has to be. Different sources, different years, all pointing at the same symbol. Seems to be a pattern she's already noticed and hasn't said out loud yet.
I believe to have found a promising clue, a line of investigation that will lead me to the truth. Or perhaps condemn me to the most horrible perversity.
What a strange way to talk about a lead.
Yeah, she's not scared of failing. She's scared of what happens if she succeeds.
A monolith, raised in the woods that surround the lake. On its surface, etched is the oft-mentioned sigil. The sigil of Marvipius.
There it is, the monolith from the first tape.
Crumbly, covered in moss, and stained with moisture. The stone, however, reveals a more intriguing nature when analyzed in depth.
She describes it almost as if it's much older than 1997.
I found it possible to deduce the monolith's true purpose. A tombstone. Before the monolith, we are likely to find the entrance of the tomb.
A tombstone? So it's a marking of a grave then?
Or an entrance made to look like one. Either way, something is definitely under it. The drowned city, perhaps.
I will be conducting a solo expedition. I here now ask the department to allow the investigation to be conducted by me and me alone.
Why solo? If she really thinks there's a tomb out there, that's not a one-person job.
Unless she doesn't want anyone else seeing what's inside.
My roots are here. Our marks share the same curse. His sepulchral depths are mine to explore. For those who may inadvertently stumble upon these discoveries, stay away. Here, there are destinies greater than death.
Strange. The monolith is a tombstone acting as a doorway into the drowned city. But even stranger is what Martha said. Her roots are here, and her and the flutist's marks share the same curse. She has a personal connection to the sigil of Marvipius and shares a mark with it. That's why Marvipius called her a good friend beneath the veil.
They both must share a connection of some kind then, right?
That's what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure what exactly. Looks like we're about to enter the drowned city. Let's see what Martha finds.
Upon prying open the tomb's entrance, it revealed a vertical descent of absolute darkness, a pit that reached the depths of the earth. And from said pit, a horrible smell, a putrid, rotten miasma rushed to the surface. Despite the unbearable exhalations, I pressed forth and began the descent.
Well, in we go. It's dark, damp, and quiet. There's nobody around besides Martha and the walls that suffocate. She describes her surroundings and the familiarity she feels while inside.
Black moss covered the walls, forever damp. The smell of fish carcasses, putrid scales. Disappearing into the ossuary. A gentle walk to cursed ruins. To meet what roamed the ancient grounds. Our sigils burned in proximity. The pungent abyss of the mortuary dragged me to secrets long forgotten, to disrupt knowledge better left unseen. A terrible familiarity, repressed memories of times of wrath, afflicted me in short flashes. The terrible burden, this obsession being dragged to things occult. Ethan. Was this how you felt?
Seems she's reached the end and, well,
Marvipius shows us exactly where those 1,043 people ended up that night.
a place I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Hundreds, thousands of souls lost to the Flutist. We open the door and enter into its domain. Windows against the wall looking out into the depths of the lake. And a book lies on what seems to be a shrine. The Book of Marvipius 2. What about 1? For now, let's see what this one contains. We open the book and are looking at Lake Oakburn. From the waters, the Flutist rises from the depths and we get to see its true form. Text is displayed as he comes up from the depths reading. Long after the wrathful times when the serpent's tongue no longer hissed, the drowned artist, Marvipius, rises. The drowned artist, that's what he is. Something ancient that went under long before 1997 and has been down there ever since. He didn't just take people to the drowned city, he belongs there. And the water is his domain. Risen from the pungent water, carrying the darkness of those eldritch depths, eternal darkness. He doesn't leave the darkness behind when he surfaces. He brings it with him. It's the curse him and Martha must share. A burning ember boils within the dark fire, wicked servant to a certain viper's sin. Marvipius is a force that still burns even while trapped in the darkness of the drowned city. He is not the ultimate evil. He is a servant, bound to something older and more sinister than himself. Day of wrath, betrayed. A price was paid. His kin spared from the gloom of the lake, and now his flesh in torment laid. A deal was made, but what for, and what's the day of wrath? Rise. A call from beyond the veil. Roaming the last ring, face the fire. Your sin, his wail. Marvipius is called to rise from the depths by a force greater than himself, summoned back to the surface world as an instrument of reckoning. The command is directed at whoever's sin originally damned him there. Rise, face them, and make them hear his wail. Marvipius descended the mountain's height, forever white and glamorous, seeking the land of light. The Flutist wasn't always the horror he is now. He was once glorious and wanted to seek all things good. But something must have happened at some point, forever damning him to the drowned city. The city of snow, where once two miracles were born from divine glow. Old Oakburn, the city of snow, where two individuals were born. But who? The people of the city at the florid orange sunrise were soon to regret their pity. That morning, the people of Old Oakburn welcomed Marvipius in. They made the mistake of showing him compassion when he arrived. These acts of pity and hospitality ultimately sealed their fate. For the wind hid fangs, and the maw of the drowned city opened under his arcane chants. Wait. The wind carrying his melody was always a weapon disguised as art. When Marvipius performed his magnum opus, his arcane chanting opened the mouth of the drowned city beneath the lake. At this moment, he revealed his true form, and within seconds, every single person gathered at the lake that day were immediately transported to his domain. For eternity. To swallow the accursed soil, roar the fire from 9 circles, and let the water boil. This must be the activation of the sigil. Roar the fire from 9 circles is the sigil glowing, and letting the water boil is the destruction that comes from it. And he will drown them, to the darkness and to the drowned city, the gloom of the lake, the forever breathing necropolis. The fate of everyone who has ever gone into the waters. Taken somewhere that's still alive and breathing. A city built out of every single person he's swallowed. Okay, that was a ton of information. Let's break down what we just learned. So, Marvipius wasn't always what he is now. He was once a pure, wholehearted person who must have been born within the town of Etozovic. Something happened before 1997 where some kind of sin or bargain was committed, damning him to the depths of the drowned city for it. But here's the thing. He didn't go down alone. Someone's kin was spared from the lake as part of that sin or bargain. Meaning someone bought their family's survival at a price we just don't know yet.
And now something above him has called him back up to collect on it.
That's what I'm thinking, and if Marvipius and Martha both share the same marks, the same curse, then she must be connected to all of it somehow. Let's keep going. This is interesting. We're shown Marvipius, the sigil, and the serpent looking towards it. Near the bottom we can see some smaller text that reads, "Roar the fire from 9 circles and let the water boil." The sigil we've been seeing is a direct reference to Dante's Inferno. This is where hell is structured as 9 descending circles, each worse than the last, with the 9th being the deepest and most condemned. Marvipius is invoking all 9 of his triangles when the sigil glows, which is equivalent to calling the fire down to boil the water of the drowned city. When the sigil was activated that night at the lake, all 9 triangles were called upon simultaneously. Every single person gathered there was pulled to the deepest condemned pit of his domain. We see the serpent looking towards the sigil, which is of importance too. In Dante's Inferno, Satan himself is frozen in the 9th circle, and serpents are used throughout as symbols of the betrayer being punished there. He serves the serpent, the same viper whose sin he is bound to. Someone betrayed Marvipius, or Marvipius betrayed something, and that act of betrayal is what condemned him to those depths in the first place. The drowned city isn't just his domain. It's his punishment. And he now asks Martha, "Will you behold me?" "Turn to me."
"Thou shalt hear the serpent's utter through thy brother's mouth."
"Wait, thy brother's mouth?"
Martha isn't just meeting Marvipius. She's meeting with her brother.
And here you are, entrapped within my shadow. Fear not, contain your shivers, for there are horrors beyond my law. Our bane, our sigils, our blood and roots are shared.
An eternal bond.
Shall we recall those times? Or have they grown to abhor our very nature?
Like Earth itself.
These wrathful days as I held your lifeless corpse, when in that lake I communed with beings far beyond. I contested death itself and brought home devout force to bathe this land in blasphemy. Doomed me to those depths.
To choke for eons.
A fragmented form, rotten now reside within. And my dead throat shall cast upon this earth the fire of mine circles, to the land that plunged me into the darkest pits, to blazing marble, to the drowned city so below, and those whose stimulants of mine will scream into the void for eons far beyond. The name of that beast, the beast that sung.
Martha, 1852. Matthias, 1852 to 1897. The Day of Wrath, 1897. Martha, the Flutist. Their family. Her findings were recovered in mid-2010 and remain classified until 2024. The material shows a direct connection between the detective and Old Oakburn's flutist. While also creating doubt on Esther's true identity. This changes everything. Martha Esther isn't just a detective investigating a cold case. She shares a curse with Marvipius that dates back much farther than expected. But on top of that, we find out that Marvipius is her brother. They share the same blood, sigils, roots, with the dates at the end confirming this. Matthias is Marvipius, and they're both twins. Interestingly though, Matthias died in 1897, the same year as the Day of Wrath.
This must have been the day he became Marvipius. But what exactly happened in 1897 that damned him to the depths? And did Martha come back out of the drowned city?
I'm not sure at the moment, but it had to have been something regarding Martha. They share an eternal bond, so it leads me to believe that Marvipius made some kind of deal or bargain with the serpent. Furthermore, near the end of the video, we're shown an image of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. This story involves a rat catcher who was hired by the town to lure rats away with his magic pipe. When the citizens refused to pay for this service, he retaliated by using his instrument's magical power on their children, leading them away as he had the rats. It's become a metaphor for a person who attracts a following through charisma or false promises.
Marvipius arrived in Old Oakburn playing his flute, enchanted the entire town with his music, gained their complete trust, and when the time came, he led every single one of them straight into the drowned city, the same way the Pied Piper led the children to Hamelin.
And just like the Pied Piper, the original legend has the rats drowned in the Weser River. Every person Marvipius takes ends up beneath the water. But now, I'm still wondering what exactly happened in 1897 and why were Martha's findings classified until 2024? Who classified them? Is she even still with us, and if not, just what could have happened? We begin looking at two gravestones. The twins.
What is it?
Marvipius speaks.
Well, dear Major, I'm not leaving yet. If you give me your permission first, I'll leave them gently in a mother's seat.
Who is he talking about? We're interrupted by... It's Martha, and below we can see discount cards on a memorial service. Who's going to pick up the phone?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
In the back, we can faintly see a picture of a family.
Record your message.
Who are they?
Finished recording. You may hang up.
The voicemail is made.
Carter, listen to me. You're making a mistake.
Who's Carter, and why is he going to Lake Oakburn?
Talk to me. Don't you dare turn away. Don't you dare listen to him. I told you I'm working on it. For God's sake, Carter, answer the phone. Just where the hell are you? What the hell were you thinking with that message?
Anthony's heading to Oakburn.
Stay away, Anthony. Please. Don't follow the melody.
He seems to have just up and left because people have been worried about him for years. I'm deeply sorry for your loss. Such a terrible thing. What happened to him? My deepest condolences, Carter. My thoughts are with you during this difficult time. 1997, the same year as the magnum opus. And what endless grief have their departures caused. I shall pray for you. I'll pray for us and all the lost. That image we saw during the voicemail, was that his wife and daughter, and were they a part of the event in 1997? Where have you been, man? We often talk about you. We left your office intact, for when you decide to come back. All this time that passed. What was he doing the entire time? Time heals all wounds, Anthony. You ought to hold on tight. By December 3rd, 2003, Anthony's grief grew to a complete breaking point. Time for him didn't heal a thing. He's realized something has happened because he knows the 1,043 inhabitants that disappeared overnight. He knows that people built stone memorials to honor who has passed. He knows that those who lost hope have built them. He knows that the other 148 missing people's families haven't lost hope. He knows that yesterday 2 more were built, and among the 1,043 missing are his wife and daughter, Catherine and Ashley Carter. The 2 individuals in the photograph. For the families who lost hope, they turned to their own illusions and ways of conformity. They moved on, as we often do, he states. But Anthony can't conform. Everyone felt something that night. They all dreamt of the sigil. He knows something took them, but even he himself is getting tired and plans to do something about it once and for all. So he can finally rest.
A bargain is to be made.
We cut to the serpent and are told,
See the Father, he grieves and withers, his mind a fiery sun, as he seeks the spirit of death. Then the sharp close and a shadow halts at the door.
Anthony is being... He's been deteriorating for 6 years since losing his family, and Marvipius has been monitoring that grief the entire time. The grief is the vulnerability he's been waiting for. And a gift is left right at his doorstep. A VHS tape, letter, and Goethe's Faust. A book about a man who makes a pact with the devil, selling his soul in exchange for greater knowledge or otherworldly powers. The letter reads,
I am part of the power which eternally wills evil and eternally looks good. Death is a guest whose visit is never fully celebrated. My gift, a piece of me, to show you what no man has seen.
He's going to make a bargain with Marvipius. Let's see what's on the tape. The image is a visual of the Ludolf Covenant, with the serpent sitting at the top of the hierarchy controlling both sigils, both Martha and Matthias, and everything that has happened across the entire series. On the left, Marvipius leads his followers like the Pied Piper with the two rats beneath the altar, directly connecting the original Western River Covenant to the Pied Piper. On the right stands Lady Justice, representing Martha. The scales, the sword, and the authority, but Lady Justice is meant to be blind and impartial, and Martha is neither. Everything in this image flows downward from that serpent at the center, and neither Martha nor Marvipius were ever truly in control of any of it. We get a look at the first book of Marvipius, and interestingly, a statement is made by Professor Petrov Lebedev in 1864. Lebedev? Is he the father of the Lebedev brothers? A grieving parent is most conductive to cosmic forces. Something must have happened. And thus she bargained with the keen serpent, should her redeem her motherhood. On the shores of the Western River, a woman, the mother of Martha and Madhouse, lost her children and went to the Western River to make a deal with the serpent to get them back. The Pied Piper's river where the rats drowned, and the water turned crimson as the blood of our children sunk below. The covenant was fulfilled and raised were the object of our grief. The twins. The price of the bargain was blood. The children's blood went into the water, and in exchange they were raised back from death. Martha and Matthias were literally resurrected through a blood covenant with the serpent on the Western River. They were never naturally born. They were brought back from death. Yet the compact commands the sorcerer's willingness. The bargain commands veneration. Contrarily, the viper won't seek its teeth. So, the covenant only works if the person who made it continues to worship and venerate the serpent. If they stop, the deal breaks and the serpent withdraws. This explains everything about the Ludolf curse. It's not just a one-time bargain. It requires ongoing devotion or the serpent takes back what it gave. We learn that the circle is the cycle and the obsession. The triangle represents fire. The inverted triangle represents water. And the line, that is, the bond. We'll get to this in a moment. This covenant. The serpent gives those the power to defy death and reunite life and death, as long as you continue to worship it. Forever. One can only speculate about the sorcerer's mental state, but as for the Ludolf, with all due respect, I wish to refrain from discussing her personal tragedies. Truth is, the serpent is alluring elixir vitae, oozing from the viper's fangs. Losing the twins wasn't the only suffering she endured. Whatever drove her to the Western River was so devastating that even a professor documenting occult covenants in 1864 felt it was too painful to put into words. He's drawing a moral boundary around her grief. Was there something else that happened to her? It cuts and we're met with a message to Anthony from Marvipius.
She calls your name every night, the little one. Come to the lake. Here my forces are strong. Should you wish to dry your tears, the sigil is key. You know which one.
Let's take a step back because there's a lot happening here. So, Anthony Carter lost his wife and daughter, Catherine and Ashley, in the 1997 Magnum Opus event. For 6 years he's been deteriorating and Marvipius has been watching that grief the entire time, waiting for the right moment. That moment is now. A gift from Marvipius arrives at his door. A tape, a letter, and Goethe's Faust. A story about a man who sells his soul to the devil. That's not a coincidence. That's exactly what's about to happen.
and the tape shows us the full picture. The serpent sits above everything, above Marvipius, above the Ludolf's bloodline, above Martha and Matthias. All of this from the covenant made of the Weser River in blood.
It's crazy how all of this ties together. I mean, a grieving mother lost her twins, went to the river, and bought them back from death. Martha and Matthias were never naturally born. They were resurrected through a blood covenant that bound their entire bloodline to the serpent forever. As long as the veneration continues, the deal holds. If it breaks, the serpent takes back everything it gave. And worst of all is, Martha knows exactly what's happening and can't stop it.
Please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Well, Anthony did leave a message.
Martha. I'm tired. I know you try. We all know how good you are at finding people. But to me, your words just don't have any meaning anymore. You say you'll fix things, then look away and frown, then with a cold stare you return to the same old condolences. Is there really something inside you, behind that husk? I found the damn solution. Or maybe the solution found me. It doesn't matter. So don't worry about lying anymore. I know those symbols have great power. I'll fix it myself. I'll save my family.
And so he's headed back home with this newfound information, and Marvipius awaits his arrival. The journey home had all the black stones turned to him, a grimace in each and a judging stare. Every person memorialized in those stones was taken against their will without knowing what was happening. And now here, Carter is choosing it. Willingly. We arrive home. It's empty. Dark. There's nobody here. But there's something in Ashley's room. A peek inside where all of her things stood still, perfect to his memory. But on the desk lies something crucial. Ashley's diary from October of 1997. From here, we're shown a timeline of her interaction with Marvipius. Cold and foggy morning. The wind blew softly as an outsider stumbled upon our gates. Hunched and cloaked, he came toward us deeply injured. Our people took him in, treated his nasty wounds, and offered him refuge. He is tall and thin. He towers over any crowd and shines at the touch of the sun. From his dark cloak he withdrew a flute. It is enchanting, unlike anything else. So we gathered around the fire and they all danced from night to morning and from morning to night. And sometimes the tall figure danced too. He stays here. He roams the night spreading melody through the avenues, soothing the ill, the children, and all folks into mighty peaceful sleep. In anxious nights, he calms my heart. This morning he insisted on accompanying me on a walk in the woods. He said he wished to protect me from any hungry wolves. We were looking for the forget-me-nots and fireweeds and all the pretty flowers that blossomed around. Most of the time he'd follow silently, but then the wind would blow around us and I'd understand his words. He says he was here a long time ago, that he saw some of the old houses being built when Old Oakburn was not old. He led the people here, the settlement thrived, but then came times of wrath, and all was consumed in a great fire. He leaves, he says. He carries his loss to a very dark and gloomy place he wishes I would never see, but it was all done now, and the past could not be redeemed. "Would you like to see something beautiful?" he said, and we walked out of the woods to the shores of the lake. And on the lake swims a beautiful white swan, as in my dreams and the beautiful images that came from his flute. Dad says the lake is barren, that there is no fish and no animals drink there, that no life could exist in those waters. But the flutist said he and death walk side by side. That is terrifying. Ashley's describing something genuinely beautiful without any idea of what she's actually looking at. She spent the week before the magnum opus walking in the woods with a thing that would take her, thinking it was her friend, feeling safer around it than anywhere else in the world. She wrote about it with joy. Anthony knew the leak was dead and told her so, but she went anyway because the music told her it was beautiful. And the last thing she ever wrote was the flutist said he and death walk side by side. She wrote that without any fear. It's now one day before the magnum opus, and we get to hear the Carter family's last recorded call.
Hey, honey. How are things? How is Ash? Yeah, I'm fine. Just calling to say that I won't actually be making it home tomorrow. There was an accident. One of our trainees messed up really bad today, and, well, I'll spare you the nasty details. They were really, really dumb with a rifle. No, no, the dumbass is alive. Yeah, lucky. Now, of course, they want me here to help them sort out this mess. Really, really sorry. Yeah. I don't know. Until we get everything sorted out, shouldn't take more than a week. A week. Yeah, it sucks. I know. So, how about you break the news to Ash, and tell her I'll pass by Miss Jane's shop and grab some of those... Shit, what is it she wanted again? Yeah, colored pencils. Those fine and expensive as shit colored pencils. Tell her Dad will bring some of those as an apology. And tell her I love her. Well, gotta go. Take care, honey. Miss you too very much. Love you. Bye.
Anthony has absolutely no idea that was the last time he would ever make contact with his wife and daughter. His last words to her through her mother are about expensive colored pencils and an apology for missing a performance. An ordinary phone call about nothing on the last normal day any of them would ever have. We fast forward back to Anthony. The clock strikes 12 and Anthony is now ready to bargain. Towards the attic, there in which he will bargain the weight of his grief. Photos of Ashley and Catherine sit on a table, and on the floor lies a sigil ready to be activated. Anthony has been waiting a long time for this moment.
To what do I kneel? I see your symbols. I acknowledge your divinity. I do not seek retaliation. See? Devotion! And I shall only ask one thing in return. The lives of my family. Free them. Dispose of mine as you see fit, but free my child. Free them both, and keep me instead. I beg you. I can no longer bear it. Whatever you be, I've seen your light. I've answered your call. Talk to me. Lord of Rats, talk to me.
Follow the melody. Where are you, Anthony? Whose anguish cries? Draw towards me with all your force. You begged my presence. You implored my voice. Now hearken to my melody. Seek the wind. Impart your will unto me. One so prosperous in your love. Would you like to rejoin them?
Instruct me.
The answer shall remain sealed until our unification. For ghosts and conjurers, the same laws appertain. The same way they enter in, they must go out.
What? But I beg you, how should they be of any use? She was only...
I have use in you. Thus I tempt you to a compact of much value.
How?
You will join them. May you rest united in their slumber beneath these waters. Should you resign your flesh, relinquish your body, upon fulfilled covenant, I shall raise you as a vessel. Is that hesitancy? You failed as their protector once. I now offer you the faculty to redeem your fatherhood. You sought a spirit of death, and I have come. Do not persist in your own misery.
I accept.
Carter left Martha a voicemail telling her he found the solution himself, but it seems the solution found him, delivered right to his doorstep. He goes home and finds Ashley's diary sitting on her desk exactly where she left it. He reads about his daughter spending her last week walking in the woods with the thing that took her, thinking it was her friend, writing all of it without any fear.
One day before all of that, his last phone call home was about colored pencils, an apology for missing her performance. He had no idea.
For 6 years, he carried that, and at midnight he activated the sigil in his attic, kneeled before Marvipius, and offered everything just to free his family. But Marvipius doesn't free them. He offers Carter reunion and death instead. You'll join them beneath the waters, resign your flesh, become a vessel. And when Carter hesitates, Marvipius twists the knife, stating he failed as their protector once, and this is his only chance at redemption.
And he accepts, but the craziest part is, Anthony Carter is John Doe.
He was the one who committed the Lebedev crime that day. But there's an issue. After the encounter, Carter wanders the mountain for 5 days, allegedly in a deranged state of mind. Let's see how this really plays out. December 10, 2003. Carter comes across a Lebedev residence. The caller confessed to murder. What have you done? We cut to another segment with Martha and Marvipius.
Our people are fed up with these nightmares. Take them to the lake and stay out of sight. And make sure they sink. Just give me a few minutes. Carter is emptied. No. This is not Carter. Not anymore. I'll deal with him.
See the Esther. Her stare is empty, and she rewrites our tragedies that night. In the paper she writes, "The brothers drowned and sunk." That night, in her condolences, she says Anthony Carter laid face down in blood with 5 bullets in his chamber and another in his head. She lies. She lies because no lamb shall fear any wolves, for all the wolves have drowned. But in truth, only one wolf drowned. Didn't it, Martha? We have overstayed our welcome. The only path for redemption is our destruction.
This changes everything. Martha's been lying the entire time. It wasn't an accidental drowning, and Anthony didn't load 5 bullets into his chamber.
She really is rewriting history and tragedies just as Marvipius stated.
Both of them can't be trusted at this point. They really do have an eternal bond, a cycle that never ends. But what does he mean we've overstayed our welcome?
Well, if the Covenant was created in 1897, then they're both at least 150 years old at this point. Both of them shouldn't be alive to begin with. They've literally overstayed their welcome in the world we're in. The Covenant was never meant to grant them permanent life, just a second chance that came with a price.
So then, the only way to end the curse, break the cycle and settle the debt with the serpent once and for all, is for both of them to go into the lake. Martha and whatever remains of Matthias or Marvipius. At that point, the bloodline ends. The covenant is fulfilled and the serpent gets what it was always owed.
We know what the Covenant did. We know what Martha hid. But if the serpent still wants payment, then the Oakburn case isn't closed.
That was the last tape as well, and I'm wondering now, what exactly is Martha hiding?
Martha's hiding that she's not nearly investigating the curse. She's one of the people the curse is built on.
Then the next tape isn't going to explain the curse.
It's going to explain her.
Guess we'll find out who Martha really is when it surfaces. Until then, this is all the evidence we've collected.
We can keep it all logged here for now, because it wouldn't be smart to bring anything home with us with all that we currently know.
Great work, Marcus. Thanks for bringing this case to light and giving us a place for research. This was a dark one, and one I definitely couldn't have covered without your assistance.
Anytime, Curse. Whenever the next tape surfaces, we'll be ready.
Oakburn Opus is something I keep a close eye on and find really special. It's rare you come across an analog horror where the creator sticks with their original vision, and Red Diamond does just that. Everything in his story has its place, and I mean everything. From the visuals, music, sound effects, he's the kind of creator that you know will deliver an amazing video and story every single time. Now, Oakburn Opus isn't over. It's far from it, and I've heard rumors that Red's hard at work on the next entry to the series. Best bet I'll be there for the live premiere, and I hope to see you all there as well. If you haven't, please go subscribe to him and tell him I sent you. I would also like to thank ImmortalMarcus for joining and helping bring this video to life. He's a creator I've watched for years now, and one who's inspired me to begin my journey on the platform. It's been surreal meeting all these new creators and having them join in on these videos I come up with. I would also like to thank Furious Bear Cat and LC Musho for playing Martha and Anthony's character. They did an insanely good job and really portrayed what they may have been feeling in those moments. Now, I plan to try and have at least one collaborator with me to bring these to life for each video moving forward, and if this new format I'm trying is well received, each video will be similar to this. You'll just have to wait and see. So, what's next for the Codex? Well, if you didn't know, we've got a Discord server up and running. I invite you all to join my Cursed Archives, where we can hang out and speak with the Keeper himself. We share tons of work and teasers that you won't be able to find anywhere else, and well, we've already been expecting you. If you would like to support me, we've also got Patreon as well, where I have some really cool things planned, but I just need a few people to get started. Support is always welcome, but of course, never expected. What's next, you ask? Well, let's just say I plan to reboot an old series that, well, let me just show you. Yeah. We're taking the Wayback Machine and going through YouTube's darkest archives, where some of the most horrifying content is shared. I've said too much and can't say any more now, but... Alright. I think it's time we close this one out. Another story for the Codex and... another curse for its keeper. Thank you for watching, and good night.